Hey everybody, this is Jeff with AZ Boomer Adventure, and today I'm going to show you this, my new creation, the Comica Mag Mic. So for a few years now, probably 3 or 4 years, I've been using a really inexpensive wireless mic that I got online. It was about 30 or 40 bucks. And it did a great job for quite a while, but it was starting to have some issues and was breaking up, and the connection that I was having to use, I was having to use a couple different wires to make sure it worked and did okay, as well as the receiver didn't go into a cold shoe very well, so it would kind of like hang in a few different places, do different things. So it was time to upgrade. I ended up upgrading to the Comica Vimo C, which is right here, and actually I'm using it right now, and that's why if we open it up, there's nothing inside. What's really cool about this and the newer mics that are out there is they come with, you can get them, and they'll come with cases that actually keep your mics charged all the time, which is nice because if you're on the go and you need your mic, you don't want to have to sit there and worry about it. You can just pull it out and it's pretty much charged and ready to go. That is a great plus for some of the new wireless mics that are out there. So one of the things that is happening these days is it's not unusual to just see people with mics on their shirts. Originally when I started using mics, and many years ago, when I was using lavalier mics in my undergrad program at the U of A, you tried to hide the mic as much as possible. You didn't really want it being in something that caught your eye or anything like that. So you would try to hide a wireless mic, or you would have the wires running all the way over, and the lavalier would, you tried to hide the lavalier as much as possible. But what I'm seeing on a lot of videos these days is people just have them right on their shirts or clipped onto their shirts, no problem. And sometimes you see them with the dead cat right there too. And you know, it's there, but I think we've gotten used to them. So I'm cool with it if everybody else is cool with it. So one of the things I was seeing was with the DJI mic, and the DJI mic had a magnetic effect to it. And I really liked the fact that the Comica was a lot lighter than the DJI mic, but it didn't have that magnetic effect to it. So I think some of the weight in the DJI is the magnets, but I think it's also, it just seemed like from what the reviews I was seeing, it was a heavier mic altogether. Plus, it was more expensive, and I liked the price range of the Comica. And it was much more affordable compared to the DJI. Now I see a lot of people out there with the DJI, and I'm hoping to see a lot more people with the Comica Vimo C. But this video is about the fact that I was able to create a magnetic holder for the mic, so it attaches to the shirt, no problem. You aren't having to clip it on, and it's not going anywhere. So I originally started out with this prototype, which is an old DVD case that I cut up, and then I glue gunned it, and I glue gunned magnets onto it, and you'll see it actually works. It's not great. I mean, it holds it in there pretty well, but it is ugly. It's just really ugly, and I wasn't super duper happy with it. So decided, what the heck? I will try something new. Now, my kid left me a 3D printer. It was his old 3D printer, and I had never used a 3D printer before. So with some guidance from my kid and YouTube videos, I was able to actually learn how to do some CAD on the computer and create a system, a kind of holder that actually is lightweight plastic, very sturdy. It has a spot to put glue magnets into it, and it holds the mic really, really well. Goes in there. It's not going anywhere. So I figured, what the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I went in and I used a 3D program called Tinkercad. It's actually a 3D CAD program for kids. A lot of teachers use it, I guess, and it was fairly intuitive, easy to pick up, and the only real issue I had was trying to figure out how to go from 2D to 3D in my mind while working and moving the thing around. It can get a little complicated, a little, I don't know, if your mind, it can give you a headache sometimes. But no, over time I got used to it, and I learned which buttons on the mouse to click to make it do this, make it turn, make it do all different things. And I using a ruler and everything, I was able to get it down millimeter after millimeter and figure out exactly what I need. So you can see right here, I have multiple prototypes. I ended up with 7 different prototypes, 8 counting the original ugly one. And then, you know, it ended up being very simple. The first ones, you know, the thing didn't fit in very well. It really wasn't being held in place, so I ended up having to create a slot that the clip could go into, and the clip connects to the slot so it wouldn't move around very much. The magnets on some of the newer ones, they weren't quite the right size, and I had to adjust it here and there to make the magnets so they fit. And finally, I got it down to a real basic, simple block with some edges on it that actually hold the mic from going side to side, and the clip inside holds it, keeps it in place. It's not going anywhere. It is, I can go mountain biking, jogging, whatever, it's not coming out of this holder, and that's pretty cool. Now the magnets I use are neodymium magnets. I'm not sure how to say it, so you know, for those of you out there that know magnets, neodymium magnets, and the magnets that I'm using are 1/2 by 3/8 by 1/8 and 1/8, and they fit perfectly in this slot that I made here, so you can get your magnets and glue them in. The website for the magnets is called Total Element, and I will put a link below to the site for the magnets for this. And actually, I'm going to show you real quick the process of the 3D printer, which is the Creality Ender 3 Pro. The Creality Ender 3 Pro 3D printer. Here is the process of building this block. So the software that I used to create the 3D design was Tinkercad, and it's free, and it's an online program. You can create an account, go online, and start creating whatever you want to create. And then there's also a program that you need to get to take the file from the CAD program, and it turns it into a file that the 3D printer will accept depending on your 3D printer. And that program is called Ultimaker Cura, and it's free. Also, it's free to download, and they're fairly easy to use once you get the hang of it. And so you start with Tinkercad first, create your design, and then you pull it into the Cura program, and it then turns it into the type of file that the 3D printer accepts, and boom, you throw it on the 3D printer and all of a sudden it starts creating. Now, I created all these prototypes, and out of doing these prototypes, I had one time where it was a mistake and the 3D printer, I didn't have enough sticky on the pad where it was creating the design, and it kind of went crazy and went all over the place. So you live and learn. Now, the magnets are really strong. You have to be really careful because they are hard to get apart, and once you get them on there, this thing is not going anywhere. Not going anywhere at all. And it's great. I used Gorilla Glue. I used Gorilla Glue in here. Be very careful with whatever glue. You might want to try some strong glue, but I don't know, Gorilla Glue worked really well, but it tends to kind of foam up or expand a bit. So you got to be careful with the amount you use when you're putting them in there. I learned that the hard way and had to kind of trim the glue down on some of these. So now I want to show you how I've got it connecting inside my shirt and connecting onto my shirt, and that's by using this little piece of metal plate. I had some metal out in my garage. I cut it to the size I wanted. Luckily it had a hole right where I wanted it, and then I took a Dremel, cleaned the edges up so it's not sharper and there aren't any sharp edges, and I attached it to a lanyard that I then put this adjustable clip on so I could move it up and down depending on how high I want it on my chest. And it's fairly simple, fairly easy to use. Boom. It goes right there. Clips on. Those magnets are very strong, so it's on there. It's not going anywhere, and it is tough to get off. But I probably didn't need to use quite as many magnets. If you have the Comica Vimo C, and you want to have a magnetic boot or attachment, or I don't know, sleeve, whatever you want to call it, the mic mag, it is available to you. And the way you can do it is if you have a 3D printer, or you have someone that has a 3D printer that can make it for you. There are people that will also do it for you and for a price, but the file I put out there for free. It is available on a website called Fangs, and I will put the link down below to the file, and if you have someone that can print it for you, or you're able to print it, the file is available, and then you can just pull it up into your program that turns it into the file that you need for your type of 3D printer. Fangs is a great site. There are people who have all sorts of stuff out there available, and you can get all sorts of things like cold shoes for your camera and different stuff that you can create and make. I highly recommend Fangs. Now, that is the total of what I have done here. I have created a sleeve for the mic that it holds on to. It has magnets in the back, and it connects to this metal piece that goes inside your shirt, and boom, you have a magnetic holder for your shirt, and it is not going anywhere. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you have any comments, put them down below. Thank you very much, and we'll see you out there on the adventure.